Hi there. Thanks for joining me for another tutorial in Melinda's Rubber Room. I'm Melinda Pierce and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here today to show you how to make this fun fold card. It has a belly band, so that comes off like that. And then this folds open and it stands up like that. So it's kind of a fun little card to have on display. And it's not that difficult to make, as most of my cards are. It's just a matter of getting all the cutting instructions down, which is what I'm going to help you through right now. I'm not going to bother putting that band back on. So again, this is a card that we did at one of my Zoom sessions on Wednesday mornings from 8 to 10, 10 a.m. to noon Pacific time. And everybody's invited to join me. Those are free sessions, and I show you how to make the cards. I do provide all the cutting instructions ahead of time so that you can work through the card with me at the same time. So if you're interested in joining, make sure you check out my Facebook page at Melinda's Rubber Room. And you can get all the information there on the upcoming Zoom sessions. So I'm going to point you down to my work surface and show you how to put together this card. So I do have all of my notes over here, so you can take a screenshot of those, find out all of the measurements right here as we make the card. So the card base, this is a bit larger card. I believe it's 5x7 is the finished size. So the card base, I've used thick basic white cardstock. It measures 10 inches by 7. And I've scored it along the 10-inch side at 2.5 and 7.5. And then I've flipped the card and measured it and scored it at 4.5 and 5.5. And that gives you this kind of wide W type of base. Okay, so that's basically the tricky part of the card, is to get those scores right. And you can see here that I have a valley fold, a mountain fold, and valley fold. And that gives us that shape that we want. Okay, so then we have our mat pieces. So we have 4 pieces that measure 2.25 by 6, and those are going to go right there, and then on the back side of these panels, because those will be showing. And then we have 2 pieces that measure 1.75 by 6.75, and those are going to go right there. And we have a 1 piece that measures this piece measures 3.75 by 6.75. We have 2 pieces that measure 3.75 by 4. That's going to be one going here on the inside and one going on the outside. And then we have 1 piece that measures 11 by 1.5. So those are all what I'm using is Night of Navy cardstock. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and adhere all of those mats into place. You can also put mats on the opposite side as well, but I've left that all blank. That way it gives me a place to write my greeting, because there isn't a whole lot of room once you've decorated this card to write a greeting. So if you're new to my channel or my YouTube videos, my Zoom sessions, I do offer these card kits in the mail. So if you're interested in having me supply the cardstock and do all the cutting and scoring for you, I would be happy to do that. So when you see the information posted on my Facebook page, all you have to do is message me, let me know that you're interested in a card kit in the mail, and I can get it off to you. And If you don't get it in time for the actual Zoom session, then you can always go back and watch the video just like you are now, and catch it as a replay. Okay, so I have one more mat to put in place, and then I can do my designer series paper. So you can see this card is pretty easy to do. It's just a lot of cutting, but it's really kind of a fun effect you get for the card. Okay, so there is my card base. I forgot one of my mats. Okay, there we go. All right, and then for my designer series paper, decided to get a little tricky and use some of my daffodil paper. So the tricky part is matching these all up so that they look, actually, you know what, I cheated and I wrote numbers on the back because I knew it was going to be hard to figure this out. Okay, so that's 1, 2. This is 3. And then these ones, I don't think they really mattered because they weren't exactly lining up right anyway. It's a little hard because you have to plan it out ahead of time and not cut all of your pieces. Oh, here we go, these are 4 and 5. So you have to plan ahead of time and make sure that you cut this this 2" by 5.5, 2" by 6.5, and then 1.5 by 6.5, 1/2 inch by 6.5, and then 1.5 by 6.5, and 2 inches by 6.5. And I didn't really plan ahead of time, so I ended up just cutting 4 of my 2 by 6.5, and then two of these pieces. So they don't exactly line up, but I tried to do the best I could. Okay, so that's what happens when you try to make things tricky. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue these pieces, the designer series paper, onto my mats. It's definitely easier if you just use a all-around pattern, and then that way you don't have to make sure you don't have to check to make sure that your designs are matching up and things like that. And there really is enough of a border between the different panels that it's not real obvious that they don't go exactly together. And this one actually needs to be a tad thinner. I don't think I cut that right. Of course, I'm going to get glue all over my cutter, but I have to clean that off afterwards. Just going to shave off about 1/4 inch here. I do like our cutter for that purpose, that you can shave off little pieces easily, especially if you don't have glue on your piece of paper already. All right, that looks better. It's just something about having a border go all the way around your card. It just looks like nice that way. I just love this daffodil paper. It's just so pretty. I can't remember if this is in the mini catalog or in the, or if it was retired. Okay, and then I have 2 more pieces that are going to go on these little back panels or front panels, depending on how you look at it. Okay, so that just goes like that, and then it's going to open up and stay open like that. I like that. It's pretty daffodils. Okay, and then we have our band that goes around the card. So again, this is the piece that measures 11 inches by 1.5. And you're just going to wrap it around your card, kind of pinch it where the sides are, and then turn it around and make sure it's nice and straight. And then just add some glue right there at the end of the belly band to keep it shut, like so. All right, and then we have these 2 blue pieces that are going to go right on top. I don't think it really matters which way you turn these. These are 3 3/4 by 4. So I have on my old one, I have it on my original one, I have it going this way. So this is 4 inches by 3 3/4. Okay, so I'm just going to add some glue right down the middle. I don't want to glue my card shut, so I'm just putting glue where the belly band is going to go. Right about there. Just make sure that is centered on your card. Okay, I'm going to open it up and adhere the other piece. Again, you want to make sure it's going the same way as your belly band piece, just to keep things consistent. So that's going to go just like that. Again, just put a thin line of glue right down the center, so you're not gluing all your panels together. It's going to go just like that. Try to make sure it's straight. And that way it'll pop up just like so. All right, and then we have 2 pieces of white cardstock. These measures 3.5 by 3 3/4. And I don't have a design figured out yet on what to put on here. So let me think. What can we do real quick? We do the wildflower path. This is a pretty set. And it does have flowers in it that look like tulips. Those are kind of like tulips. We'll just say they are. Yeah, let's see. I think it's the stamp that goes with that. Try that on a piece of practice paper first. All right, sorry, I usually have this all figured out ahead of time, but I'm going rogue this time. A whole basket full of blocks here, and I'm trying to find the right set. Okay, I should have some stamp pads that will work too. Mango Melody will work for the flowers. And gotta have a green here. Guess not. Oh, here's green. Okay. So I'm going to stamp on paper first just to make sure this is the right leaves to go with these flowers. That looks right. Okay, we're in business. Okay, so I made sure that this white piece of cardstock is going the right direction for those mats that we did. And I'm just going to alternate the heights of these flowers, of these stems. This set was in one of our previous catalogs and did get carried over, so you can still get this. It's a lovely little stamp set with flowers that you can do two-step stamping with and get all kinds of great effects with it. And I really like the font on the stamp set too. It's just really pretty. Okay, so there's some flowers. Some more flowers. Let's see, we can do a kind of like this. My heart is smiling because of you. And then we can make it a thank you card. I just have some amazing people that just make my days brighter, and just so thankful for them. So I'm making lots of thank you cards right now. That one's not quite big enough. Go. There's a nice big spot on the top of this one. I'm going to stamp this saying up there. And I don't want my flowers to just be standing up on the ground like that. So I'm going to add some grass just to kind of ground everything. Just going to stamp off and then stamp on here. That just fills up that border down on the bottom nicely, so it doesn't just look so bare down there. Just amazes me how much different the color is when you stamp it off. It looks like two different ink pads. All right, put all that away so I don't mess up my card. And then add these to the base of my card, onto my mats, and we're all done. Really could have gone either way with these sayings. I could have put thank you on the front or on the inside. For some reason my band did not attach straight, so I'm just fixing that up here. I want to have a nice clean seam on the back of my card. All right. Everything's sticking everywhere, or I don't want it. Alrighty, there is my finished card. Hopefully my band still fits. Yep. Alright, so there's my card. Take the belly band off and it pops up. Isn't that cute? I love it. Alright, hope you enjoyed that video and learned something new on my tutorial. Hope you can join us again, and feel free to join me over on my Facebook page at Melinda's Rubber Room to find out all the latest and greatest information happening in my studio. Again, if you'd like to shop my online store, feel free to join me over at melindapierce.stampinup.net. Hope to see you on a Wednesday Zoom session soon, and if not, take care. Okay, bye-bye.